Well, hi everybody. Good Monday morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here as I'm back after a couple of extra days off. And one thing about a few of those days, Friday and Saturday, is the winds. Well, the winds have already returned this morning. We had a cold front come through earlier this morning. The winds have picked up behind that front. They will only get worse as we start to get some daytime heating here after sunrise here. So let's take a look at your forecast now. Initially, there are some clouds behind our front. One thing Futurecast not showing too much of, there is some precipitation in northeast Nebraska and also back into the panhandle of Nebraska. Most of us will miss out on the precipitation, though. We'll just see some of those passing clouds. The bigger story behind the front will be those strong northwesterly winds throughout the day. We could see gusts up near 45 miles per hour or so this afternoon, especially here. Now, the winds die back a little bit tonight. They'll still be breezy tonight. The other thing I'll mention about this evening is we could see a few showers sneak into the eastern third of the state. Very light sprinkle showery activity, nothing too impressive expected. But by tomorrow morning, we will see skies start to clear out of here. A little breezy overnight still. The winds don't really die back completely overnight tonight, which actually holds our temperatures up a little bit. That said, we're still looking at lows in the mid to upper 30s and lower 40s. As we get into your Tuesday, a blustery day, another very windy day, in fact, nearly as strong as today. A lot more sunshine out there for your Tuesday, but it will be cooler, highs mostly in the 50s. Now, the good news is on Wednesday, we get some nice recovery. In fact, Wednesday will be the nicest day of the week, but change is already afoot by Wednesday night into Thursday, which we'll talk about here in your 7-day forecast. So, first thing I'll mention with the strong winds today, there is a wind advisory. You'll see those brown shaded areas there in eastern Nebraska. Now, the Omaha National Weather Service does still issue wind advisories, so do some of those other areas off to our north. That said, places like the Hastings National Weather Service, the North Platte National Weather Service, Cheyenne, Goodland, Kansas, Topeka, they do not issue wind advisories anymore, so that's why you're not seeing all these other locations with wind advisories, even though it will be just as windy in most other locations. Now, there is also a red flag warning in place southwest of the Tri-Cities for this afternoon and early this evening, where we'll have lower relative humidity levels combined with those strong winds, so the fire danger is going to be high in those locations. Now, as for your temperatures today, now we've actually seen a little surge of warmer air. What can happen sometimes behind a cold front, if there's not a lot of bitterly cold air behind it, you can actually see a bump up in temperatures if that front comes through during the overnight. Well, overnight, you lose heating of the day. That heat radiates back into the atmosphere. Well, if you get those winds picking up, they actually will push that heat back to the surface. So temperatures have actually have warmed up into the 50s to start the day. That said, that cold air advection is going to keep it from really warming up a whole lot today. We're looking at highs today in the low to mid 60s up towards the north. Same thing out west, mostly low to mid 60s for highs. All areas will be fairly blustery today. Mid 60s to the south, maybe upper 60s there in northern Kansas. Same thing to the east, mostly mid 60s. We may sneak in a couple of upper 60s for highs. So those temperatures actually are not far off from normal for this time of the year. Tomorrow, a little cooler, another blustery day, lots of sunshine, highs in the 50s, down into the 30s for Tuesday night with lighter winds. Wednesday will be the nicest day, highs in the low and mid 70s, lots of sun, not as much wind, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. Late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, another strong cold front comes through, so winds will kick in behind that front. You'll notice it already early on Thursday during the day. Thursday, the winds will be very strong. We'll see gusts that could be 40 to 50 miles per hour. Some extra clouds, but no precipitation expected. Highs in the 50s, we may actually see a temperature drop later in the day Thursday as that colder air tries to win out. Now, as we get towards Friday into the weekend, there are some complications to the forecast. That said, it looks like the coldest of the air will settle in during that Friday time frame. So highs in the 40s, although some models are trying to push in some warmer air, especially out west already on Friday. Should be lots of sunshine. We start to see those temperatures sneak upwards Saturday into Sunday. Still a little below average for this time of the year, but back into the 50s. Dry conditions expected. There's going to be a battle of cold air to our northeast and warmer air to our west that'll kind of play out here in Nebraska. And the big question is, how much cold or warm air kind of moves back in. But again, I'm kind of just looking at a slow climb and kind of looking farther ahead towards Halloween. Right now, indications are it'll likely be a chillier Halloween, 40s and 50s for highs. So not a very pleasant one out there, considering over the last 5 years or so, we've seen some very nice Halloweens out there. So again, there's your forecast for today and for the week ahead. Until next time, I'm meteorologist Travis Klineski. Hope you all have a great Monday, and God bless.